Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to make meatloaf sandwiches. So what you see on my counter is what we're going to use to make these. What's really wonderful about this is you can actually make quite a few sandwiches out of this. With what I have here, you're going to make about 5 of these, which is really a great thing if you're making something for, several people. Or you can actually double this if you had a large family. You can make like 10 of these sandwiches out of the deal. And it's like one of these things where I remember people who used to take meatloaf and make meatloaf sandwiches after someone had made a whole meatloaf. Well, this way we're going to make them kind of in the shape of hamburgers, but we're going to do it in a way that you could make these, serve them. If you don't use them all, put them back in your refrigerator and serve them again later. So it's kind of one of those things where you have it for more than one meal if you want, but it's also, this is definitely a budget meal because there's really not that much involved in making these. And as you can see on my counter, it's really just not a lot of ingredients. You just need the basic ingredients, and then you've got something really wonderful to serve to just yourself or a whole family or whatever. So we're going to start off with 1.5 pounds of ground beef, which we're putting into a large bowl. And then once we get that in there, we're going to be adding 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of pepper onion blend, which is just a frozen thing you get out of the freezer section, which basically has green peppers, red peppers, and onion, which basically it's just a little bit of each all chopped up. There's really not that much to it. To this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. And then we're going to add 1 large egg. Now, we have a bunch of seasonings here, so we're just going to go through these really fast. Each one of these is 1/2 teaspoon. You have salt, pepper, and onion powder. Then you have garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and paprika. And we're going to add all these to this because this is going to give it a kick of flavor, which really, it makes it really great. Between this and then adding the bell peppers to it, it's just a lot of wonderful flavor added to the whole thing. And then on top of this, we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce, which basically we're adding into this about a teaspoon. And then once this is all in there, we're going to add in on top of it 1/3 of a can of tomato sauce. Now this is one of those little small cans that you get. We're going to reserve the rest of this tomato sauce because we're going to use it later because it's all going to go into the topping, the rest of the tomato sauce. So once this is all in your bowl, you're going to have to mix this up. Now, if you want to, you can use a glove to do this. You really can't do this with a spoon, I'm sorry. Or you can just use it with your hand. Wash your hands first, and then after you're done, wash your hands again. That's all I can say to you. But the best thing about this is, once you get your hand in there, you're going to get this mixed up really well, because without doing it this way, it really can't be all pushed together the right way. So if you want to wear gloves, please do. Otherwise, just wash your hand and go for it. And we're just going to keep going until all the ingredients are mixed together, and that means everything is going to be in one big ball in the center of this by the time we're done. And that way, all the peppers, onions, all the other things, garlic, it's all going to get distributed throughout the ground beef, because we want to make sure that everything is completely distributed. We don't want to have one meatloaf patty that doesn't have as much ingredients as the others. We want to just have a little bit of everything in the whole deal. Now, when we mix this all up, we're going to have enough to make 5 of these, which these are decently healthy sized burger deals that are going to be our meatloaf burgers. So that's a wonderful thing to have that much of it. Now, you're going to need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. These are going to be in there anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes. So just make sure that your oven is hot before you put them in. Now that these are all mixed together, we're going to go ahead and shape them into patties. I put mine onto a baking sheet that's lined with foil with a little cooking spray, just to make sure it doesn't set up shop and there's not as much cleanup later. And I'm going to go ahead and just shape these into the patties that are going to be our meatloaf burgers. And basically just go through it and do them one at a time, trying to be as equal as you can, because nobody wants to get the one that's the smallest piece of meat. So go ahead and do this, and as I said, you're gonna get like 5 of these, and that's really cool. But like I said before, if you really want to make a lot more of these, if it's just that you want to have enough for everybody to have a couple, or you have a larger family, just double the ingredients, and then you literally can make 10 of these. And the best thing about it is this is pretty filling when you eat it, because I don't just put mine on a regular hamburger bun. I use a bigger kind of Kaiser roll, so that way it has a little bit more heft to it, and that way you really fill up off of what you're eating. And you know, that's kind of the secret to like budget cooking, is trying to fill everybody up with as little as you can get onto it. So this definitely works with the Kaiser roll. So once these are all completely put onto the pan, we're gonna get ready to put these in the oven. Again, 400 degrees. I'd say 35 to 40 minutes. Check them around 35 just to make sure. But we are gonna pull these out a little early to put the topping on. And speaking of the topping, here we go. So we had a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. The rest of our tomato sauce is going in here. And then we're gonna add a little over a tablespoon of chili sauce. And then we're going to mix this all together, and this is going to go on the top of these, because we're going to bake those burgers for at least 25 to 30 minutes, and then bring them out and put the topping on it, and then put them back in for about another 5 or so. So the point being is, if yours are getting really done at around like 35 or even 30, bring them out, put your tomato sauce on top of this, and that way put them back in for a few minutes. And you can even broil them. Just turn it up really high on broil, and that will actually cook the tomato into the top of it, and literally it'll be done in just a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and put the tomato on top of these that just came back out of the oven, and you're just putting a decent amount on top of here to where it's all over the top of it, but not running all over the sides and everything like that, because then that's going to turn into a mess. So go ahead and keep adding your sauce on until you get them all coated. And as I said, once you get sauce on top of all of these, they go back in the oven. You either can leave it in there for like 5 minutes on the regular temperature, or broil it for a couple till you get the sauce cooked in. And then when we bring it back, we're going to put it on a bun. So go ahead and make sure there's a decent amount of the sauce on top. So as I said, I use a Kaiser roll for this, and I have slices of mozzarella cheese to put on this. You don't have to use mozzarella if you don't want to. You can use like provolone or American cheese or whatever you want to. It's your choice what kind of cheese you like. But I slice mine open, I put the cheese on the bottom, and then I bring the burger over to it. Because basically this is kind of like eating a hamburger, but it's a meatloaf burger, which is really wonderful because you have all this flavor you don't get from a normal hamburger. So just scoop it up off of your baking tray and get it in place. And once we get these on here and we have our two put together, we're literally just going to put the tops on them, and they are done and ready to eat. And that's just really amazing, the flavor you're going to get out of this between the sauce on top and the burger itself. And mine looked something like this when it was done, and I gotta tell you, this is such a great taste and a great meal to eat. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out the Southern Mountain Kitchen website, where you can get a free recipe, check out the cookbooks available from the Southern Mountain Kitchen, and if you'd like to, you could order a cookbook at a discounted price, cheaper than Amazon, with shipping that is also cheaper than Amazon. So if you get a chance, check it out, and I hope you have a great day.